Hello, I'm Debanjan Chakravarti of the British Council, and I'm with John Knagg, Senior Advisor, Learning and Teaching of the British Council Worldwide. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Debanjan.
We are at the 11th International Language and Development Conference here in New Delhi. I was just wondering if you would like to reflect on how the conference has gone thus far.
It's been a great conference so far, really exciting. I'd say it's my third language and development conference myself. I was in 2011, then 2013 in South Africa last time, and then I was involved in kind of organising this conference. It's gone very well, and what we really hope to do by this conference, I guess, is really raise people's awareness of the importance of language in society, really, and in not just in economic development, but in social development, in the diversity of our cultures, both a country's culture and international cultures, in a situation where language is often overlooked. It's such an important part of what we do and what makes us.
John, we are here in Delhi for the 11th Language and Development Conference. It's the Language and Development Conference come to India for the first time. The theme is multilingualism and development. There has been a fair amount of talk in this conference about English medium instruction or EMI. You yourself chaired a debate yesterday on that. What is the British Council's line on EMI, if any, at all?
Well, we do have a line, and our line is essentially that we believe that people around the world, children around the world, and the parents who are sending them to school and making decisions have a right to quality education. They have a right to good learning, a right to learning that will make them good citizens with a local identity and maybe an international identity too. And we believe in any kind of education that will lead to that. Now, very often we have situations around the world where there's more and more demand for English from children, from parents of children, and that's reflected in government policies. And where parents and governments are asking for more English, the British Council is keen to help, but never at the cost of quality education. Very often we see situations where English is used as a medium of instruction too early. Perhaps it's being used before the children can understand any English, so that they can't understand what the teacher is saying. In other situations, English is being used as a medium of instruction when the teacher's English is not good enough. And I'm not talking about any particular country, I'm talking about lots of situations we see around the world, because in fact we know there's a huge shortage of English teachers around the world. And so what we find ourselves saying to governments and to parents really is sometimes, maybe it's better to focus on the quality of the education and do a little bit less English and a little bit more effort to ensure that the teacher is teaching well, often, and most importantly perhaps, in the mother tongue, in a language that the student can understand, in a way that will involve the student, in a way that we like to call learner-centred education.
Thank you, John. If I could go back to the first question I put you, referred to that. British Council has been involved in various capacities with the Language and Development Conference series for the last few times it's been held. Why is the British Council supporting the Language and Development Conference series?
Well, we believe that language is an element of society which is often overlooked, and its importance is underestimated. It's a hugely important thing. Language is something that gives us our identity, and it's something that it can help us in our social development and also in our economic development, both at a personal level, in the kind of job I can do because of the languages I can speak, and in terms of a national level, the way that a nation can interact in an increasingly globalized world. And we find really that very often nations and governments and international organizations underestimate the importance of language in education, but not only in education, also in services, in the provision of health services, in the provision of justice. We see situations where it's language that prevents people having full access to the justice system, or understanding the elements of maternal health or good health for their children, because the information isn't being given in a language that they understand. And very often this leads to an enormous waste of resources and waste of money.
Yeah. Thank you, John. One quick last question, which is, any particular session at this conference stood out for you? Sessions?
Well, I've just been to a session from the Open University, which is conducting research on English as a medium of instruction. It'll be doing research in, I think, in Bihar, in India, and also in an African country, probably
Such
Ghana.
an under-researched area as well.
Very much so. And what we're looking for is the ways in which, where there is good practice, where this sort of education can be used to the benefit of all, and not just for the benefit of an already existing economic elite, so that education can become a democratizing force.
And social elite.
Yes,
not
exactly.
just an economic.
Absolutely.
Thank you, John, for being in conversation with me. You will be able to watch the debate that John chaired on the British Council India website. Thank you very much.